Back in the motherfucking hot seat, round
Back
three.
in the hot seat. Round 3, man.
Marco, what's happening, brother?
Good to have you back, mate.
No, pleasure to be back. It's been a while.
It has, mate.
7 months out the country, reunited
Yes.
with my bigger brother from another mother.
That's it. It's like kind of like a surrogate son now with your family, actually, being adopted.
It is, especially from like the Lindsay Ross side of things.
Yeah, for sure.
Proper indoctrinated in, which I love. I think
Close with
that's
those
great.
two, man. Close with those two. Just
Yeah.
kind of click with them, do you know what I mean?
I like that as well because I don't really like, I won't say get on with a lot of my family. Like we're quite spread.
Mm-hmm.
There's always been that side we've been like tighter with. And the
Yeah.
fact that you're like in it
Yeah.
just feels right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just feels right.
Yeah. It's the natural progression.
But it's been a wee while, man. First time we've kind of like done what we've done with me being away for such a prolonged period of time. You've been holding the fort in the UK and whatnot. How's it all been, man?
I think it's been good, mate. It's worked. I think it's worked with like, because we've got clients in all time zones.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So when you're over there, while I sleep, you can work. And those clients don't need to wait.
Mm.
Do you know, like they don't have to be like, oh, I'll text somebody, it's the middle of the night for him. Do you know what I mean? You can be there, and I think it actually kind of flows quite well. I actually think it's been pretty seamless. Can't really moan about it. There's not really been nothing. It's not caused any issue.
Nah.
Certainly.
No riffs whatsoever, which would be nice. That was a wee bit of like an apprehension upon going, because even when I was in like Australia, New Zealand, I thought it was actually really hard.
Mm-hmm. Just be teething problems because it would be new.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But that was like a good kind of icebreaker for you to. That was what you were doing, though, testing to see if it would work remotely.
A stress test.
Yeah.
And it paid off. It always was like a dream to do that. So the fact that it's like working, it's good. It's a nice feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very nice feeling. But what do you think's kind of changed on your end from like an evolution standpoint? I don't know like where we're going to go with this, but like, how do you feel in the role at the moment? What do you think is happening? What's the kind of dynamic? What's even the lay of the land in terms of the coaching space? What's the energy you feeling?
I just don't think that there's anybody really doing what we do. Do you know, like, people, I mean, anybody that's a coach will know what I'm talking about when the algorithm on social media is hitting you with, if you're an online coach trying to scale your business, then you need this automated program. It's like blah, 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 right, fair enough. But if you've not got the results, then it doesn't matter, And I'll see a lot of kind of maybe more high profile coaches than us posting results, and it's like, meh. No, I've not seen anything that's impressed me. Do you know what I mean? But like, I just think it's the way that we approach things in a more kind of personal way with clients. Like just coming off those podcasts there, that's like the main thing that's kind of came across to me. There's so much that we can relate with people
with our colourful backgrounds and all the ins and outs. Well, I actually was thinking that in the car up today. It's like no one does it like we do it.
No.
And the level of detail to the result and the outcomes, not a scratch on it. Yeah, there's some fat loss plans out there that we get someone a quick fix. But seeing like the long term, we'll have clients 1.5, 2 years. Majority of the time, like long term fucking great clients that will stay, pay and play for a long period of time and just continue to evolve.
Yeah.
Time after time after time. And even from like us getting them the initial result, maybe the shreds, the physique transformation, we're just like, that's phase one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like done. Whereas our coach was like, we've hit the pinnacle, this is the best. It's like, no, there's so much more we can get from every single person. And I think that's maybe been one thing that's maybe, I wouldn't say capped us, but from a growth component, the amount we deliver to our clients is such a high volume. We've never sabotaged on that or sacrificed that for like scale.
Yeah.
Like let's scale harder. So scale, it's like you shouldn't be scaling nothing.
Yeah.
Like you can't scale
certainly
personal
not
connection.
If it's sacrificed to the service.
Never.
That you give to each, because there's only so much you can do. There is only so much you can do at a certain level.
Yeah.
Where you're just kind of copy pasting.
I know.
I think a lot, like I mentioned before as well, like anybody can put somebody on a treadmill in a calorie deficit and get them to lose weight.
Yeah.
There's no kind of skill in that, but it's about, I think as well with us, there's always like an aftercare, and when a client's halfway through, whether it's a fat loss, a photo shoot prep, whatever, we always drill into them that the photo shoot's not the be all and end all.
Sure.
Do you know, it's like, the photo shoot's going to be a bit of fun, but the process serves a much higher purpose to your overall journey, do you know? And I'm letting them know that, like, it's no binge time once it's over, and they never hit that kind of, that sort of post-shoot or post-show or whatever it is, blues, you know? They're just like, right, okay, I know everything's laid out for them in terms of how we manage the kind of, the aftermath of the heavy diet. You know, we never have anybody yo-yoing into, like, sort of, you know, disorderly eating or anything like that, you know, and it's just...
Never. I almost can repair people's approach to dieting, or repair their approach to nutrition. Like, one thing I've heard so many times, time and time again, my relationship with food is so much better, because people have a really seriously poor relationship with nutrition until they learn the ways in which, how you should actually do it, how to control it, how to manage it, how to manipulate it, how to actually, like you've been saying, food or fuel, but all the other... what were you saying, a kind of philosophical or...
Yeah, like, I mean, food isn't just fuel.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be culture. It's going to be about family time. It's going to be about special occasion celebrations. And that's really important to the whole human experience.
100%.
You know what I mean? And you can't, like, you can never have a client feel like they're coming on to our program and feeling like everything else that they've enjoyed in their life up until that point is now a stress. You know, it's like, oh no, that's breaking my routine. Oh no, that's not in my plan. It's not this, you know, it's about helping people navigate that. But something I've noticed, like something in the past year that's been huge to me, just personally, has been how much I get from the clients as well. You know, like going through kind of tough scrapes and doing the podcasts and just coaching people, getting people on calls and having to show up for people, and also just like leading by example in times where you don't want to go and train. You know what I mean? You don't want to, you know, be worrying about your macros. You want to just sit in the house and fucking binge eat, or, you know, whatever, all the things that we're teaching people not to do. It's like, I realise now, like, how much I get just from them, you know?
Yeah, it's a two-way street. And fuck me, some mornings, like, I'm doing check-ins and stuff, and I'm cooked from the week, and like Nathan Keys will hit me with a voice note, and he's like the most ball of energy, fucking most excellent week ever, man, smashed everything, training's flying, I feel incredible. I'm like, yeah, I need to fucking show up hard today, like, because I can't be that contracted guy that's like, yeah, we've pulled some food next week, that's it. It's like, you have to return the same energy, the same connect, like, I think that's where maybe a lot of people in the industry are missing. It's very, okay, clients winning, thumbs up, leave them to it. It's like, whereas it's like, we'll give them their time of day. Everyone gets their time of day. Like, even in a normal coaching week, I'll do about 20 calls just because, you know, I go actively reaching out to clients and be like, let's hop on a call this week. And they're like, they don't really know why they're coming on, but I just want to impart some wisdom or some knowledge and give them that wee G up for the next week part. I keep continuing to pepper the mission, because for me, it's not about growing the business as big and as, you know, bloated as possible. Lean team, solid connection, insane results, making sure everyone feels like they're part of the team rather than just a number, which doesn't really ever sit well with me. Yeah, you know, I think a really cool thing, which, you know, we've kind of always had, but it makes more sense now. But me and you are very alike and similar, but have such different approaches as well. So between us both, we can really blend the coaching. Yeah. And a very, like, the clients won't even know what the fuck's going on. But for me and you, we're like, this is working really, really well, from like the mindset to the kind of more bodybuilding to maybe more lifestyle to more of the, and it just flows in such a way that every client can get almost like top end physique results, lifestyle management, mental health improvements, like get over vices and addiction, but then manage like even build their business inside the program and stuff. It's like, what's going on here? It's like a full 360. It's like a proper like life mentorship.
I think we attract the kind of people that we used to be.
Yeah.
You know?
And attract the people that we used to want to be as well. You know, the upper level of person might be killing it in business or just starting at the very bottom of the mountain.
Yeah.
You
Because
know?
I'll find myself like doing the kind of weekly internal podcast and I'll just be sitting and sometimes I'm sitting like, especially like the past year, just been sitting like, what did I say? What am I going to say here that's actually new, that's worthwhile? I'm not going to sit and be like, oh, well, how you approach your protein is 1 gram per pound of body weight. It's like, shut the fuck up, man.
Surface level
yeah,
shit.
do you know, like, I'm just not going to do that. But see, just sort of sitting down and just being like, right, what's been really fucking tough for me past couple of months? What have I been struggling with? You know, and then just pressing record and just being like, right, this week, I've not really been feeling it. I've not been feeling it with training. I've been getting into the gym and I've been like, shit, you know, I know what I'm here to do.
Yep.
You know, I've got a plan to follow. I know what I'm trying to do. I'm just not feeling it. And then I was just thinking to myself, like, what do I do to get over that? You know, and I remember speaking recently on one, I was like, just go on the treadmill, stand on the treadmill for 10 minutes, just do a wee incline walk, look around you and just be like, right, that's me in the gym. Focus on, you know, every gym's got like colour coordinated, you know, like red and black or fucking grey and yellow, whatever it might be. I was like, just, you know, when you see those colours, just allow yourself to just be, this me, I'm in the gym, I'm doing something for me that's important, and just allow yourself that space to just fuck everything else off, whatever else is going on. And sometimes I'll finish those podcasts and sometimes I just end up bummed. It's always one take. And even if I'm stuttering and stumbling,
it's got to be one take,
yeah,
Tony.
I just go with it. And sometimes I'll finish it and I'll be like, fuck, was I talking about? And I'll just click and I'll just send it on, you know, get it posted or whatever. And, you know, the next day somebody's sending me a paragraph about, oh, this resonated with me and that. And I'm like, that's just because it's not any shite, you know what I mean? It's just, it resonates. Because I mean, I think like you can lean it, you can be toxically positive, especially as a coach. You can kid on, you can wake up, see when you're feeling shit. Yeah. You can come on and be like, right, you know, you got to do this and, you know, like your morning routine and do that. Well, that's great. But what is it? Especially me being their coach, what is it? What am I struggling with? You know, what am I finding friction with and how am I getting over that?
For sure, man.
You know, and especially like I remember speaking, like this past year I've been talking heavily about like when you go through something rocks you. Do you know what I mean? There's a total change to your dynamic, as happens in everybody's life, you know, just a total change, something that you've just got to get through. The first thing that people will sack off is their training and nutrition, especially if prior to that they've been really on top of it. And I would go to my bed and I would be like, right, everything's still shit, you know, gone to the gym and, you know, keeping on top of my macros, keeping on top of my goals, ticking the boxes, hasn't really changed my situation. But I'm going to bed at night and I know that I've not let myself down. Do you know? And then when I talk about stuff like that gets such a reaction for the clients, you know.
Because everyone knows it's a self-worth thing. Yeah. It's like, yeah, your external world can be burning, but if you've put your head in the pillow at the end of the night and said, I've shown up for me, that's powerful beyond its weight. You know, I think that's all I try to focus on myself personally. And there's going to be there's so many days out the months and the years that I'm like, fuck this, like burn it down, patch. Like, what is the point? Yeah. I think everyone's going to have them, but those moments only last as long as I let them.
Yeah, totally.
Anyone can let one little thing, one drop in the ocean turn into a tsunami and really fuck things up, but it's how you manage to bring yourself back to baseline and watch, like, what are the things that keep me right? And for me, it has always been the training, dialed in food, journaling, reflection, schedule, just like keeping a fucking grasp on the only things you can control, right? Because see, if no one's taking that away from you, yeah, unless like and you snap your back. And even our client Cameron Cormac, you know, he's got a fucking metal back, like metal spine, pretty much like disc in his back, reconstructed. He's not had it easy, you know, but he's really fucking leveled the fuck up. Yeah. Like, that's been, 5 months in the program. Yeah. And he, again, similar to many people that come on board, want a bulk. No. Yeah. We get you fucking sorted looking the part first. But he's been through huge personal development journey. He's like proposed to his missus. He's sending videos when he's journaling in the morning. He's so dialed in with his food, his headspace. He's so positive. And we're not going to dive into too much, but he's been through, you know, a lot, which would cause a lot of people to probably hit the drink, hit the drugs, and just completely self-sabotage every other aspect. And what would that do to his current lifestyle, his missus and all that? It would fuck everything. You know, but he's really locked the fuck in, stayed the course. And it's exactly what we would do for ourselves. Like, how easy is it to go through something tough and want to zig and go the other way, the dark path, just to take your mind off things. But see, when you just show up day after day and just grind through that pain, you always come out the other side in a better spot. Like, the light will come if you stay the course.
Yeah.
No one's guaranteeing it.
Yeah.
But you can guarantee yourself that if you stick to the process and believe, the outcome will be better than where you're at now. It's like, trust it, roll with it, run with it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, things are always going to go wrong. Do you know what I mean? But if you can put your head in the pillow every night and think to yourself, fuck it, at least I'm jacked.
Yeah. At least I'm fucking jacked and tanned.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, you can use all the fancy lingo that you want. Do you know what I mean? But nobody goes to bed at night hoping that they're going to wake up fatter and weaker. Do you know what I mean? I don't, like, you know, talk about the body positivity thing and it's all that kind of stuff. Like, whatever, you know, if that makes you happy, then whatever. But, you know, it's a powerful thing. Do you know what I mean? To just get the fuck on with it. And I think, like, that's, you know, I remember speaking to Sam Lease the very first time, you know, coming up to a year to the day when I get him on the first call after he had joined the programme, and he's just telling me everything he'd been through. And I'd just been through something pretty similar. You know what I mean? And as he's talking in this call, I'm thinking in my head, is it unprofessional to open up to him here? You know, should I just listen to him and just let this be his call? Or is it a better move to just say, you know what, man, this has happened to me, and I chose the latter. I just said, look, this is, and I think that just gave so much more kind of trust.
Huge,
just developed so much more. So I understood him better. Do you know what I understood? Like, because then I'm thinking, like, what would I need from a coach? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember even one of the darkest days of my life, mate, I had to go and meet Cameron Shearer. We're using names here, you know, just to make it.
People know, man. They're our clients, they're our boys, man.
I had to go and meet him for a session, and we were going to run through a lot of posing and that. Mate, I just wanted the ceiling to collapse in me that day. Honestly, worst day of my fucking life. Do you know what I mean? If there was ever a day I didn't want to go and live in, it was that day. But this was planned.
So, you know, diary, 2
weeks before, and I was like, I need to just pause everything and I need to go. Me and him's training and we got talking and that, and he turned around and he said to me, he was like, you know, see, since just coming onto this programme, my business has so leveled up just because I'm looking at you and Lewis, I'm looking at, you know, on your stories, just looking at what you're getting on with day to day. And he was like, just you guys' relentless commitment to what you do has been so inspiring. And I'm actually staring into his eyes thinking, mate, if you knew what was going on in my head, do you know what I mean? If you knew how much I'm actually hanging by a thread right now, to, you know, just lie flat in the deck greeting. But that's what I mentioned earlier. It's a lot of the time, you know, it's a symbiotic thing. Do you know what I mean? Because I think doing the weekly podcast, a lot of the time, it's more for me. It's more for me because saying out loud things, once I've you know, recorded that and I put it down, and I kind of think to myself, right, okay, am I practicing what I preach? These past couple of days, have I been practicing what I preach? Was that a lot of shit I just spoke there?
Coaching yourself, bro.
Yeah, and then a lot of time it's like, right, come on, let's fucking go. Do you know what I mean? These people are listening to you. You know, and it makes it real when you get the feedback and you're like, wow, this, you know, and sometimes, like, especially as things draw, it becomes a really emotional thing for people, you know.
It can be. Like
when it draws into like the photo shoot day, or, you know, some people just get emotional, you know, because they've been unhappy for a long time and they've not been where they want to be, and they start to feel like they're getting where they want to be, and you hear all these kind of like these
big
emotional
shares
feedback
coming out, man, and it's like, with coaching, it's never just like, the physique or what, or they ran the extra mile. It's like the big mental health level ups.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like even Nathan Keys is like this. I've never been this weight in my life. Never seen this muscle before. Sam Leask, he's got abs, man. The guy started at 300 pounds.
Yeah.
What doors are going to open for these chaps just because they said enough's enough?
Yeah.
I'm putting me first for this bit of time. Sam Lee's pretty much for about 6 months of the whole he was like undiagnosed health issues with like fucking vertigo and stuff like that, feeling awful probably every day. Still going.
Yeah.
You know, still fucking going. And that's what I'm in it for as well. It's like knowing that these guys are still fighting the fight. Some of the top end clients are just really fucking pushing through. We might not want to push through, but then they say one thing to us. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck, you're just on it. The same path as me. We're just a couple of steps ahead, laying the breadcrumbs. And that's what I respect so much about this game, about coaching. It's never just a transaction. It's sometimes, like you said earlier, speaking to, Sam and Sharon, letting them in. That's one thing I've been happy enough to do over the last year as well. Just, okay, this is me. Share everything. Don't hold back in case they have an opinion. I could not care anymore.
Yeah.
Could not give a fuck. Just let them have it all and be as 100% me and authentically me as I can. And that fucks with people sometimes when I'm 100% me, because I can be a bit triggering with things I say sometimes, but I need to just be that way. And then they receive it and they understand that they can be themselves. Much better things come from that. Because then it's not just about, okay, this guy's going through shit, but it's like your macros. We need to just 20 gram less carbs next week. It's like, no, it has to be more depth than that.
Yeah.
Has to be, you say, more than chicken and bench press. Quite tongue in cheek, but fucking accurate. It's like, we pretty much get the results we get through mindset coaching. The majority of the time, like 90%, it's all mindset. It's getting them thinking correctly through us rewiring our own brain to think correctly. And I've leaned more heavily into YouTube over the last 6 months, and I went for a period probably about 5 months of daily uploads, 7 days a week. That was a grind. Pulled back a wee bit now, 4 a week to make them better quality, whatever. But I would be speaking a lot about stuff on being a better man, mindset, routine, productivity, things and habits to do, not to do. Every time I uploaded one of them, I'm like you said, course correct. Are you fucking doing that? Can you really speak authentically about that? If someone was to watch you, how you're living life, would they say, yeah, you are what you say you are?
Yeah.
That's the main thing about this. Because anyone can lie themselves to get some quick success. Yeah. And there's a lot of that. But who really fucking are they behind closed doors? Yeah. You know? Would you trust them? Would you want to invest in them? Yeah. That's what I think sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I need to either buck up my ideas. It's like, nah, you're on the right path. Keep fucking going. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
Sometimes as well, the fact that me and you we've always got some goal that we're working towards, you know, and sometimes maybe clients will say to me oh, should I train today? I've got legs today, but my chest and my back's really sore, and I don't know if maybe I'm doing too much or I'm doing this, and I'm like, listen, man, I've been sore since 2016. Do you know what I mean? If I fucking if all I did was listen to my body, I wouldn't make you a bed. Do
you know what I mean? See this morning, man, off yesterday's marathon, so cooked, man. I felt like I was walking on glass when I woke up. I was like, oh. Well, I had to walk down the stairs sideways, but I was straight outside from 100 push-ups. I was just like, fuck your feelings. Every day, I said to myself, 100 push-ups is now your thing a day at the moment. I'm just like, all right, we're in doing them. Body's aching. Back for some reason, killer. Feels like I've been hit with a bat. Yeah. But it's like, you can't rely on your current mindset sometimes sucks. Yeah. And if you listen to your current mindset, it would all be fat, weak, and fucking sucking her mum's tits still. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fact, man. There's a big sort of discussion about fatigue management and things like that. I would say in the kind of bodybuilding.
Is that their new thing?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, everybody's got access to this information. You know, everybody's got Instagram and that now, and like back in the day, this just wasn't like a conversation that folk had. It wasn't a thing that was in people's minds. Do you know what I mean? People were just training as hard as they fucking could, and then, you know, it was like, right, I'm fucked, so maybe I need to take a couple of days off. Do you know? But it's like, I remember somebody saying, like, if you're trying to get cut, do you know what I mean? If you're trying to get fucking lean, I remember someone saying, like, shredded glutes and hamstrings doesn't come for fatigue management. Shredded glutes and hamstrings comes for fucking suffering.
Turning into like a horse, like a race horse for months on end.
And I think that's probably like a thing. Like, if I was to sort of pinpoint one thing that where most people go wrong in terms of, like, you know, people maybe say to themselves, right, I'm going to start eating right, I'm going to start going to the gym. I'm not really seeing much progress, you know. But the main contributing factor is a lot of people don't understand how hard they need to train. You know, then they're just not willing to push that. Like, I mean, I'll even have clients, you know, maybe had them on for a couple of months and they're doing fine, you know, doing fine. And then they'll maybe want to come and train with me. And they get a fucking shock.
Yeah, I still get a shock when I train with you.
Do you know, like, they'll maybe stop. They'll maybe like start, and I'm like, why are you stopping? And they'll like, oh, failure. I'm like, a fucking failure? You know, I failed, you know, it's like, and I mean, to be fair, that's going to look different for everybody.
Yeah.
You can't just, if you've never been in a gym before and you've just started trying to build muscle, you can't expect someone to be able to go to true failure. That's a learned skill like anything else. But
yeah,
I think for me, I was probably one of the lucky ones, you know, because I think people need to be shown to train hard. But for me, starting out, I always understood that I had to train hard, you know, just by who I was kind of looking up to in that. You know, I seen that they were training hard and I was just I was like, well, I want to be the way they are, so I'm going to do what they do. And I think, like, I mean, I'm always talking about that kind of trio that you've got to have in place. You've got to be training with intensity, but that training's got to be accurate, and you've got to have the intent of what you're doing. You've got to understand how and why you're doing what you're doing, you know. But that comes with time, you know. Like, and again, I go back to like everything that people see on Instagram, like kind of science-based training and that, which has got its place. But if you've just started training and you're getting in and you're using some kind of banded, backhanded, D-handle, lower lat, focused row, you're fucking going about it the wrong way. What you need to do is get weight on a barbell, bend over and fucking pull it.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there is got to be a period of just going through it. Because if you've no goat lats, you're not going to be able to feel your fucking lower lat contract.
People who can't contract their chest, it's like, well, there's no need to be doing like pec activation shit. It's like, just start pushing. I remember, like, I used to do like the Arnold workout for chest. I couldn't even feel my chest, but then like 10 months later, you're feeling your fucking chest, you know?
But see, you're the same as well. Like, I mean, when we worked together in a leisure centre and that, like, I can remember like you being in the gym, like, just fucking deadlifting stupid weight.
Oh, always.
Do you know what I mean? Legs shaking like fuck. You're coming up to the door. I think you've got to have that. That's what you've got to go into the gym with. Mm-hmm. And it's that needs to be refined over time. But you've got to have that desire to really push and work hard. And a lot of people just don't get that. It's the most cliche saying out there, but like I'm always saying, do you know what I mean? A cliche is a cliche for a good reason, and it's normally because it's true. But no pain, no gain.
No pain, no gain.
There's no truer thing said.
I used to try row the 50 kilo dumbbells when I was like low 70.
When you weighed 50 kilo?
Literally. I don't even row the 50 kilo dumbbells now, but I used to just heave at weights and see what I could do, pull my traps and stuff. I can get like, pinch my rhomboids and be like, fuck, like get back injuries, wee niggles here and there. And just be like, this is fine. This is like me growing at the moment. Like, yeah, maybe not right. I used to deadlift with like a shitting cat. But it's like, you have to expose yourself to like, what can your body fucking handle? Too many cunts are like, I've got bad back. It's like, you've got a bad back, you don't deadlift.
Yeah.
Like, get stronger, protect your back.
Yeah.
And you're going to pull wee muscles where bags and meat and bone at the end of the day. But one thing I think that there's a big fail in the fitness industry on at the moment. See the likes of your Dorian Yates, your Arnold, all these kind of like young 20-year-old guys are seeing talking head videos of these people from back in the day just with weird little nuance phrases but they've not done what me and you've done and sat and watched like Dorian Yates Blood and Guts, like the box set series back to back and like really seen it or tried it or followed like Arnold's workout split properly, the double daily workouts, like 2 chest days on a Monday kind of thing. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, I'm going to, you know, heard this thing that this guy said and I don't do that then. I don't know. It's like, I feel people are seeing little pockets of information getting spread now and they think they're fucking whiz kids in the gym, but they train like fucking cupcakes. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not getting stronger, I can't get leaner. It's like, well, you actually don't have enough muscle to even get leaner at the moment. Yeah. You're just skinny fat, you know? And I don't know, man. It's just, I think there's a lot of like, call it misinformation. It's still information, but it's just missing. Yeah. It's just missing
and
them.
It's like not all the information that you've got access to is going to apply to you.
Yeah.
You know?
Has to be specific.
I think that's the same. I think that's something that sets us apart as well. Because we kind of come from the like talking to Sam earlier and that, you know, like coming from a place where he was talking about like why he was why he had his drug addiction, why he had this, why he had that, and he was coming to a place eventually where he had to remove all the vices, and all he was left with was himself. Do you know what I mean? And having to just learn to sit with that pain and just like not soothe that, not have any kind of vices to cover that up or soothe it, just sit with that pain. And I think what we do with the kind of the mindset, you know, like kind of even just like encouraging journaling and reading and all this kind of stuff. Like a lot of people look at that and think it's just a lot of bump in that. But what is it that the clients talk to us most about, that they get the most value out? It's all this kind of stuff. It's about like being clear on, it's like, right, okay, you want to go to the gym, you want to build muscle. Why? Do you know what I mean? And I mean, I'm not sitting here claiming to be fucking Sigmund Freud or anything like that, right? But there's something to be said about actually kind of diving into why you're doing what you're doing.
Yes,
you know, and learning to just kind of sit with what you're uncomfortable about with yourself. Sit with it, understand that the discomfort in your mind and your body, everything you're going to have, that's what's going to get everything. Like, you know, everything that people want to get in terms of the person that they want to be, whether it be the physique or the mindset or the performance, whether it be in business, you know, like sporting performance, whatever, all those results are on the other side of all the effort that they're just not willing to do. And all this science-based stuff is just really a way of fucking avoiding the hard fucking graft, the sweat and the fucking blood and tears that needs to go into it, you know?
Can't deny hard work.
No. There's just no way around it. You're dieting, you're going to be hungry. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You're trying to put on weight, you're going to be sore as fuck a lot.
You cannot apply the science until you've been built off sheer hard work. It's like Michelangelo didn't start using the little tiny toothpick chip to carve out the fine details until he'd fucking got a massive statue and whacked at it with a fucking... Exactly. You need to whack at shit for a while. Yeah. And get it sorted, then fine tooth comb it, man. But yeah, like you were saying, it's like, right, thoughts, beliefs, actions, behaviors. For any client, if their thoughts are fucked, they're not going to have belief, which is going to lead to shit behaviors with no action, you know? So it's like, what we do with our clients is make sure they're thinking big, they're behaving correctly, their habits are aligned, their actions are clear, and they can behave their way to success. They can get themselves there through the actions, through the discipline, through those daily non-negotiable growth habits that we put in front of them. And they look quite chill. Like, see if I could write down the 5 habits that I give to a client and say, run. Wouldn't make sense if until you get them so bought in to understanding and really trying it. Because we get some guys that come on and just only focus on the training and ticking a box, and they're quite shit at that, and then they fall off. They don't make it. Yeah. And it's like, are you doing this? Are you doing that? Are you trying this? Are you exposing you? And it's like you'll be having a one-sided conversation and they only respond to the bits they want to respond to, and you're like, well, we're not getting through this person, are we? And that's when there's too much friction, and it's like, I can't do, I've got too much going on. It's like, no, you've not got enough going on for you to be focused on your real goal here. Yeah. You need to fill your days with positive fucking actions and the things that are going to hold you to a standard which move you forward towards a life you truly want to live. You know? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man. But it's like, I think as well, see, talking about doing the kind of the podcasts that we do, the internal ones, see what we're talking about being just kind of like open and honest about what's causing friction with us. The amount of kind of trust that builds with the clients is next level. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that because a lot of it, most of the time when I'm doing the podcast, I'm really just talking about myself.
Yeah,
but
man.
I'm not talking about it in a way that I'm not going into detail. You know, I'm just talking about it in a way that everybody can relate to.
It's like
do you know what I mean? Because everybody goes through those same things, and that's what I always keep in mind about it. It's like, yes, I'm talking about this with my own experiences in my mind, but I'm not saying, oh, and then so and so said this, and then I had to do that.
You know, it's
name
dropping,
just,
and it's not becoming.
Yeah, it's not so specific that it's just a fucking biography of me.
Yeah.
It's like it's something that they can just sort of listen to and be like, yeah, and they're listening and just nodding along.
It's building that resonance with them.
Yeah, and I think sometimes leaning into that, almost talking more about the negative, is what brings about the most positive.
People are more fueled by a negative outcome than a positive outcome. See if
it's like being like, yeah, I'm struggling as well.
See if I dropped a $5 and you found it, you'd be like, oh, a $5. See if I stole a $5 from you, be more fizzing about the $5.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. People are fueled by the negativity, man. But like you're saying, mate, the authenticity breeds that humility, that vulnerability, but that exposes you to the change. Like when I just let go and I'm just going to be 100% me, say what's on my mind, do what I want and not hide it and back. Started getting a much better feedback loop because people like understand that, get that, he's doing this. I think like, I don't like that I do this and I'm working to get rid of it. This is a vape, guys.
Don't do this.
I'm not condoning it, but see when someone says, "Oh, like he's still," oh, I saw there was I got a message. Oh, I saw a vape in your video. I was like, yeah, but I thought you were this. It's like, do you vape? Like, yeah,
just a fucking guy, bro.
it's like, but you run and stuff. It's like I ran a marathon yesterday. Did the vape help? Probably not. No, but I still fucking done it. I still doing the things. But I'm not I've removed a lot of other bad habits from my life, and I'll give you bad stories and why they're negative and stuff. But I'm not trying to hide things.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be this fake guy in the front end.
Man.
And then when they come to the program, they get a different version of me.
Yeah.
Just be transparent across the board, and then that's gonna breed a better connection, which I find. It's pretty much. I'm fucking sure our entire roster probably smokes.
See, like. Knowing, because before I was coached or anything like that myself, I tried everything, every kind of way of dieting, intermittent fasting, to
keto, carnivore,
all that shit. I've done it all, and I learned a lot being coached that I can apply in my own coaching for sure. There's absolutely no doubt. But I think as well, see, like for example, the photo shoot coming up, how much for the start when we had cherry picked the clients that were going to do it, got them on a call. One of the first things I spoke about was what's going to happen after the diet. I was like, once we're done dieting, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. You're going to be mad hungry still for a long time. Like the work's not done. It's not going to be like the photo shoot's going to be over and then all of a sudden you're not going to have all these hunger cravings and you can just eat what you want.
You stay this lean, but you just pack on muscle like fucking nobody's business.
The reason that I can drill that into them with so much conviction is because I've fucked it up before.
Oh, mate.
Do you know what I mean? I tell them that. I'm like, I tell my story like one time after I stepped off stage, all I done was I just ate an obscene amount for a couple of days. And
I've given myself these big swollen ankles before.
And I was pushing a pram. I was pushing the wee man up a hill, like just next to a cemetery where I stay, and I couldn't take another step with the pain that was in my calves, so I had to like limp into the cemetery. Just put the brakes on the pram. The wee man was sleeping, and I'm lying on the grass with my feet up on a bench to try and just like get the water to. And
groundskeeper comes and says, "Do you want your grave dug?"
So what I'm drilling into them is like, don't fucking do that, do you know? But there's value in that, do you know what I mean? Because if I'd not done that, do you know what I mean? If I hadn't, fucked it to that degree, then I can't have as much conviction in telling them like why they shouldn't do that. It's not just a case of don't do this, don't do that. I'll be like, if you do this, you could easily end up in this position. And then the fuckery that I had to go through to rectify that. Do you know, and then just having this kind of yo-yo, and then it fucks with your mind and that. But I think that's why we've got such good client retention, is the aftercare. If there is something like a photo shoot, or if there is some kind of deep dive into
even like
dieting,
a marathon, or even just a wee event prep for like a High Rocks or something, it's like, it's a still, see, for anyone ticking a box and having like an outcome, or someone clapping for you at the finish line, or you getting the photos and seeing that smile on your face in the day, that's all fine and dandy. But like, everyone has that false edge that they build for themselves. And it's like, I've achieved this thing, and everyone proverbially falls off, but it's how fast you can catch yourself or be caught by the person. We've got the duty of care as coaches to make sure like that downfall is not as epic as what we've had before. Because I admit, I've done marathons, then not ran again for a year. I've done photo shoots and gained 10 kilos over a fucking week and looked like fucking an absolute sack of shit after being in the best shape of my life. Done other things as well, and you just fry yourself, you know. And I even said that a couple of clients ran half marathons over in Australia, and I was like, okay, off the back of your half marathon, you're doing 3 0 days of intuitive eating on MyFitnessPal, get your baseline food back in based on recovery. You're going to only do one weight session at the end of the week, and you're just going to hit your steps and then do yoga twice. And then the following week, we're going to do, it's like everything's laid out clear for them. So they're not thinking, do I need to keep running at this volume? Do I need to drop down to this? Do I even want to run anymore? So you got to almost like take the gears down if you're going into a park. You don't just go in at fucking sip gear and then halt the brakes. The car's going to blow up, you know? You're going to get injured. So you just got to be like, and it's all for our own experience. Nobody teaches you this at fucking...
And having that experience is priceless. You get when you're coaching people, you know. You
get these 18-year-old prep coaches.
Yeah, man.
You know, and it's like, this is how you do it. It's like they won fucking the 56 kilo Mr. Cumbernauld because there was only one competitor and it was them. And they're like, prep coach or sports performance coach. And it's like, they've not done anything. They've not done anything. Whereas between us both, 20 years now. We're fucking about and finding out. Testing ourselves, exposing ourselves, getting burnt, spending the wrong money on the wrong things, trying things that didn't work. That's invaluable. You know, and if we can distill that down and feed that to a client over a 6 month, a year, 2 year period, it's like they could coach. They could be a coach off the back of a course with us. You know, just because we've just given them 20 years worth of wisdom and removed all the failures. But sometimes it's actually good to get a client to fail on their own. Learn from your own fuck ups. You know, don't want to baby people too much.
Well, that's it. Do you know what I mean? Because like we've said from the beginning, like we always want to make it so that when the time comes for a client to leave us, we don't want them feeling like they ever need to be coached again. You know?
It's a good, I don't like it sometimes when a client leaves before they've done the full thing. Kind of sits weird with me because I like, there's still a lot more work to be done. And there's still like almost lessons that they have to learn, but they're hard to almost describe. They can only be learned through time and doing. It's not like I can be like, right, we'll fast forward 6 months and you're going to have all this wisdom installed. It's like the path has to illuminate as we walk it. We need to do this together so you don't fry yourself along the way, because it's too easy, man. Too fucking easy.
But like when I started training, and you know, long before I sort of fell into bodybuilding, the reason I started training is because I just wanted to be somebody else. I just wanted to be somebody else. And I think we attract a lot of people like that are just sick of their own bullshit. And they're just like, and when you get somebody that's just ready to just submit and just try anything, you know, they're just like, I'll get up at this time in the morning, you know, I'll do this all day. Because one of like, if you're sick of your own shit and you're ready to take instruction and be coached, that's the people that get the most. The people that feel like they're at rock bottom. Because something that really kind of grinds my gears, if you like, is somebody that will maybe say, oh, well, that's a lot more food than I've been eating. So maybe should I take, you know, like 500 calories off that? Or that seems like a lot of protein. Should I? Or I normally train with more volume than that. And it's like, right, okay.
I've been adding runs in every other day.
The way I find that really strange because I'm like, right, okay, well, why are you telling me? Why were you coming to me having done all this when it's not fucking worked? And asked me, you know, like fucking hired me to come and help you and guide you through this. If you're just going to argue everything that I say and just, you know, so you want to come on, have the program laid out for you and then just change it back to everything that you were doing before.
Just keep dying.
You know, strange mentality. You know, strange mentality. But like when people come on and they're sick of their own shit, like I said, and they're just willing to just be coached and just submit to maybe it is something totally new that they've maybe no thought of before, and that's almost certainly what's going to get the result. You know.
And I'm always happy to educate and be like, this is why.
Yeah, I love that as well, you know, because there's a difference between a client just sort of challenging and also asking because it's good. I love it when clients ask me a question, why are we doing it like this? Why, you know, what's the reason for this? What's the benefit of that? Because there's always going to be a rationale. You know what I mean? I'll never be caught out when like somebody asks me something. I'll never turn around and be like, well, because that's what you do. Do you know what
ChatGPT.
I'll always have a rationale, and it's good that they ask that because that's what it's all about. They have to be able to learn, and I think if you know why you're doing something, then you're much more likely to execute it. Do you know, because you understand what the actual rationale is. You know,
the clients that come out with statements are the ones to watch for. The ones that ask the questions are the good ones.
Yeah,
you know, statements as in, I do this though, I do that, and it works for me so well. It's like, bruh.
Yeah.
You got 10-inch arms.
It's like, I normally just eat all my carbs in the morning and then I just focus on just getting all my protein in my last meal. And you're like, no.
It's like I always get these horrible midday slumps, but you're eating fucking 9 Weetabix for breakfast with nothing else.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. Well, that's kind of what we do, guys, in a weird roundabout way.
Yeah.
3 podcasts deep today. Let's eat.
Yeah, I'm cooked, man.
Yeah.